Hello everyone, I'm Borjana Mumerin from Bulgarian Institute for Somatic Education, and I'm here today to interview Rena Bauman, who will be presenting Organic Intelligence for first time for the Bulgarian audience. And she will be teaching a course about neurobiology of shame. Hello, Rena. It's really nice to have you here in Bulgaria. Welcome. I would like to start with the question if you would like to say something about yourself to our audience.
Благодаря. Здравейте. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be here and talk and share with who I believe are some amazing people who will be listening on the other end. So this is a great opportunity for me to come from Colorado in the States and to be able to be here and share a little bit about organic intelligence, and then specifically how to apply organic intelligence to working with people with shame. And that's a primary topic that I work with. The groups that I work with are predominantly about shame and how to get out of shame and be able to connect to yourself and connect to others with greater ease. I've come to that, as many people come to their topics of interest, I've come to that because of my own process of healing and growth, specifically from shame and chronic shame. And so that is kind of how I have niched myself and where my focus is. But in a general way, organic intelligence has become kind of the overarching paradigm, I would say, that I utilize. I've been trained in body work, in trauma skills for therapists, for body workers, Kathy Kane's work. I've been trained in somatic experiencing, Peter Levine's work, also Aileen Lapierre and her neuroaffective touch, and then Steve Hoskinson's work, organic intelligence. So there's a lot of different approaches that have come together, and really the foundation, I would say, for them is what Steve has taught about complex systems, which our biology is, and we as people are, helping us understand that so we can more easily do life, and then also the work that we do with other people.
Can you tell us a little bit more about organic intelligence and why we need to be familiar with it in this world flooded with artificial intelligence?
Oh, wow. What a great question. I don't know that we're flooded yet with artificial intelligence. We're yet to see what that really looks like. And, I would say if we watch some of the trends that have happened as we fast track adoption of technology, and certainly that's going to be the case with artificial intelligence as well, we can see how much separation, isolation, how much anxiety, depression, these kinds of things are actually growing and becoming endemic. And you could even say, it's a pandemic, another kind of pandemic of sorts. And so as a result, we, as is the case with all technology can be utilized for real good and benefit to humans, and it can be used in a way that can be harmful or detrimental. And so one of the things that we will always need to come back to is our innate selves, our innate biology. So no matter what happens with artificial intelligence, we still have biologies that are functioning in this world with each other. I don't expect them to go away, and I don't expect artificial intelligence to get rid of them. That's my fundamental belief about that. Yet, we have a tendency to outsource our ways of being sometimes to the technology. And so we will always have a need to come back home to ourselves and come back home to who we are. And one of the fundamental elements of who we are is complex beings that operate according to complex systems principles. And as a result, we know how we function best, and we have a biology that innately wants to continue to grow and learn and develop. This is why we develop things like technology, including AI, because that's just built into our system to be able to do that. So we want to harness that for our good and for our own well-being. If we let artificial intelligence do all the work, and I'm thinking now in terms of like therapy, if we begin to outsource therapy and growth to artificial intelligence will just amplify what's already true about us and a tendency that we have, which is a tendency to focus on what's wrong. What some people call the negativity bias in organic intelligence, we call it the what's wrong attention. So artificial intelligence will greatly amplify that tendency to focus on what's wrong. And one of the things that we know about that is what keeps us stuck in life. It is a powerful attractor that will keep us from being able to move forward and to learn and grow. And so we want to come back to this element where we can align ourselves with another very powerful attractor, and that's a very organizing attractor. That is the innate wisdom, what I call the seed of potential in us, that just like a seed has all of the coding within it, that once it gets the right soil with the right nutrients, with the right water and the right sunlight, when it has all the right conditions, that seed just automatically grows. And the same is true for us as humans. As humans, that when we get to have the right conditions created for us, and one of the things that organic intelligence talks about is how to create those conditions, how to create the right soil and the right nutrients for us, the right sunlight for us, so that this automatic tendency that we have to organize, and in organic intelligence we call it auto-organization, that natural process can become more dominant for us, rather than the more unstable, disorganizing, disoriented process. And so part of what organic intelligence is doing is trying to move us from the negative reinforcement that comes from an auto-disorganizing system, and how to shift that into a positive reinforcing system where we can let go of control and let our biology do the work.
What can people expect from your bold classes?
So I get to do 2 classes, which is really exciting. So the first class is going to be really helping us understand what our nature is as complex beings, and specifically our own biology, and how to align ourselves with these biological principles. And then it will also give an overview of the clinical methodology that Steve Hoskisson created out of these principles of complexity science, chaos theory, positive reinforcement, positive psychology, as well as mindfulness practices, how those have been synthesized into a unique approach to working with people. So I'll be going through all of that on the first night. And then included with that, though, also will be a demonstration video where we will be showing how organic intelligence works with people in a way that allows traumatic experiences to be, in a sense, processed or metabolized without specifically having to deal with them explicitly. And so it's a demo that will show how we work implicitly to build the container so that we can work with trauma such that it's not destabilizing to the individual. And so that will be a big part of what we do that first night. The second night, I will be talking about how we apply the principles of organic intelligence to working with people with chronic debilitating shame. And that, shame is really underneath everything and blended with every problem and challenge people have. And so nobody is actually immune for shame. Some cultures will use shame and negative reinforcement in training more than other cultures. But regardless, nobody in the world is exempt from the experience of shame. And shame likes to be hidden and doesn't like to be exposed. So here I am. I'm going to expose it and talk about what the physiology of shame is. So what does the body do with shame, and how does that relate to who we are as people, as complex systems? I find that once people understand the physiology of shame, that right away starts to de-shame the experience of shame. And so I'll be explaining all of that, going over all the different ways that we tend to hide from shame, so all of the strategies we have to avoid feeling shame. And then I'll be sharing a lot about how I work with it, both with individuals and in small groups, and the way that we help shame begin to melt. So I like to think of it like putting a big block of ice into the sun and just letting the warmth in the sun melt that block of ice. In the same way, the work that we do is like that gentle heat that allows shame to melt, so that people's natural sense of selves, their sense of their capacity and their agency and their ability to do and their confidence, all of that becomes naturally more present. And so I'll be going all in depth of that on that second night.
Do you want to say something more to the people who are joining us to these both classes?
Oh, wow. So I'm excited. I'm excited that you're going to be able to join. I'm looking forward to meeting each of you. And really, I don't know how many people will be coming who are actually like practitioners and working with people directly in a therapeutic sense, or how many people are just working with people in the regular general sense as a professional. All of us have families and are connected to other individuals through our families. So no matter what, we're connected with people. And the more that we understand how our system works and how other people's systems work, and then the more we become organized, the better results we're going to have in terms of how we interact and how we connect with people. So I'm trusting that you're going to get out of this. If you are a professional working with people, you're going to learn kinder, gentler, more easeful and efficient ways of working with people. If you're here because you're just curious and you want to apply this to yourself personally, you're going to learn a whole lot too about how to do that, and so that your life can have greater ease to it.
For more information, please visit our webpage bise.bg.